Peace and welcome. Beautiful day, everyone. We'll give it a few moments before we see who arrives, and we'll go ahead and get started. Okay. What time is it? It is 6:50 a.m. So today's hexagram that we're looking at, today's gua, is gua number 16, enthusiasm, motivation. Enthusiasm is what it's called in the Osho Tao. Enthusiasm. And the key words for this one is self-expression, inspiring others, self-confidence, totality, success, sharing a positive response. And we're looking at thunder over earth. But before we get started on that hexagram, just wasting a little bit of time, see who comes into the chat room this morning. We're going to pull a card from Eckhart Tolle. And I just opened up the deck and my eyes fell upon this series, which is from The Power of Now. The flame of awareness. So what is the flame of awareness? True change happens within, not without. Find the now within. Everybody you come in contact with will be touched by your presence and affected by the peace you emanate, whether they are conscious of it or not. So just be you, whoever you are, give your best, do your best. Whether it's received or appreciated, in the end doesn't matter, because you know that you have lived and loved with your integrity. Oh my goodness, hold on one second. No. Somehow this crazy little kitten found some gum that I think my son must have left out, and she was chewing on it. But luckily I got it away from her. So the goddess oracle for today, we're going to get in touch with the divine feminine. We are looking at Maya, illusion, Maya. So Maya. Illusion. What is it about me that's so hard to grasp? I dance the universal energy, always moving, always active. You can never see me, as I am veiled. And that veil is a byproduct of what I do, who I am. Go deeper. Don't get caught in the magnificence of my creativity. My creation is the illusion behind which lies the knowledge that all matter is energy, and all energy is me. The Great Mother, Maya. Mythology. The Hindus and Buddhists of India worshipped Maya as the material universe, as mother of creation, weaver of the web of life, and as illusion. She is the virgin or made part of the three-part Kali. The three aspects being virgin, mother, and crone. Maya is also worshipped in Nepal, Tibet, Asia, and the Himalayas. Her special attributes are intelligence, creativity, water, and magic. Here she is depicted lifting the veils of earthly form to reveal the true nature of the universe. Meaning of the card. Maya moves subtly through your life to tell you to face your illusions. It is time to see what is so, what is true, what is real. Are you caught in a particular situation and can't seem to move because it's so hard to see clearly? Were you dazzled by what a certain reality seemed to offer you and now discover nothing there? I can definitely attest to that. Have you been listening to the words people speak rather than what's behind the words? Yes. Hey, welcome. What's up with you? Welcome, Sterling. Let's see. Have you been listening to the words people speak rather than what's behind the words? Maya says it's easy to get caught up in illusion. Wholeness is nurtured when you accept where you are and forgive yourself. See, that's the thing, is when you realize that you've allowed yourself to be duped by the emotion and you're attempting to move forward. It's so important to forgive yourself. You know, it's like the 5 stages of grief. I think when it's, denial, anger, acceptance. Can't remember the other 2. I guess, and if forgiveness isn't there, forgiveness is a major component, depending on circumstance. So that's another stage of grief, is when you're healing from that situation, is when you truly forgive yourself for what you allowed yourself to be put through. So where were we? Wholeness is nurtured when you accept where you are and forgive yourself. Become aware of the illusion, then consciously lift the veil to experience the reality. Seeing the reality behind the illusion is what brings you power. Welcome, Lapo. Lapo Myers, welcome. Okay, so hopefully I will not forget today. Before we go, I would like to pull, I really enjoy these beautifully illustrated cards. I want to pull one of the animal spirit cards for us in the very end. Okay, so back to Maya is always with us. Back to the hexagram that's at hand. Enthusiasm, motivation. So what does Kersong Huang have to say about hexagram number 16? Our resident theoretical physicist. Okay, he calls hexagram 16 weariness. A very interesting, seemingly on the surface, opposition to enthusiasm and motivation. So you have weariness. Thunder over earth. Auspicious to appoint helpers to take military action. Hold on one second. There we go. And we start with the earth hexagram. The earth bagua on the bottom, and we're going to move our way up to the top. Weary amidst fame, misfortune. Hard as a rock, but not all day. Good omen. Weary at sunrise. Tardiness brings regret. Weary at play. There will be big gains. Be not suspicious of friendly gossip. Sign for long illness, no death. Weary at night, the city wall crumbles, no trouble. Okay. Well, that was an interesting translation, and that's more of a direct verbatim translation. And I could actually kind of dig that one. That one sort of reminds me of the Book of Ecclesiastes or the Heart Sutra, that hexagram right there. So let's see how Binabel Wynn breaks down this hexagram. So we have the Bagua of Earth. Of course, this is the one I immediately open to, the Bagua Earth, Kun. Receiving direction, yielding, receptivity, submission to heaven, nurturing force, divine yin, receptive energy, that which yields, material world. And of course, the element is earth, direction southwest, yellow path season, cardinal spring, low shu 9 halls season, summer solstice, life aspect, love and relationships, motherhood. Medically speaking, stomach, digestion, spleen, pancreas. The chakra is the center seed, the beginning of creation. The animal is the bull. Archetype is the dreamer and the visionary. And immortal is Lan Kai He, patron of artists, creatives, intuitives, and peripatetics. Empowered state of earth is hexagram number 2. And then we're looking at thunder, getting into the exciting Bagua. So where is thunder? Thunder, Jin. Thunder. Is that in the screen pretty well? There we go. Thunder. To shake or arouse, inciting movement. Today I have Assam black tea. Assam black tea with some raw cane sugar and a little bit of powdered goat's milk. Assam black tea is from India and is listed as the champagne of teas. All right, where was I? Okay, so thunder is the element of wood. The direction is east. The season is yellow path of yellow path is summer solstice. Season of low shu 9 halls is cardinal autumn. What's in your cup, Sterling? If anything, I don't know what time. You're in Japan, right? What time is it there? Is it, what are you guys, 8 hours ahead of us? Life aspect, family, ancestry. So it's like you get your power and your that strong energy from your family and from your ancestry. Medically is related to the foot, legs, tendon, gallbladder, liver, sensory motor skills, sympathetic nervous system, and physical pain. I think I really need to do a lot of meditation on this Bagua. Okay, the chakra is the throat chakra. The animal is the dragon. I do have a red dragon somewhere. I think it's at my office. I'm going to have to bring it here and put it on this little altar here. The archetype is the emperor. The immortal is Cao Cao Ju, patron of nobles and aristocracy. Okay. I won't repeat that out loud, but that's funny. So it's 8 p.m. there. All right, well, you enjoy your beverage of choice. The empowered state of thunder is hexagram 51. And for number 16, Binabel Wynn states, we got thunder over earth. Go ahead and see that a little bit closer up. Thunder over earth. You have, that's interesting. You would think that thunder would be more of a masculine energy, but it's actually, it has a predominant feminine energy with a masculine foundation. So that's interesting. Find that very interesting, whatever that means. It's like as you go through this, a little by little, each time you read it, each time you meditate on it, each time you absorb it, more and more is revealed to you. Demonstrate enthusiasm. Then those of the spirit realm and earthly realm alike will follow you. That's interesting. Demonstrate enthusiasm. Then those of the spirit realms and earthly realms alike will follow you. Honor fellow dignitaries with celebration, and they will honor you. Honor ancestors and your guides, and they will honor you. To be motivated to achieve, you must first be motivated by the energy of life. To be motivated to achieve, you must first be motivated by the energy of life. Action with enthusiasm. Renounce hesitation. So even here, the power is within you. It's not saying that the energy of life is going to be motivated, is going to motivate you. It's that you must first be motivated by it. So you must be open and allow yourself to be motivated. In other words, kick your own self in the butt. Make your own self get excited about things. Kind of like, sort of like fake it till you make it. Or a more maybe PC way of saying it is be in an attitude of gratitude. Appreciate what's around you. And the more you appreciate, the more you'll see what is there to support you, for you to appreciate. Renounce hesitation. Do not let chronic conditions hold you back. Prepare for an advance. Auspicious to take military action. There is an opportunity for growth. So hexagram number 16 is you. At least the transliteration is YU, so I'm hoping that that is you. I'm going to need to get my son here for him to, as he took Mandarin for I think a year when he was at Tufts University. Oh, what's your book going to be on? Sterling, please let me know. What is the subject or title, the subject of your book? So now we're going to move to Brian Brown Walker. And I know my major shortcoming is I've had this book that I want to write. It's a book of poetry. And I have most of the poems. It's just getting over myself, getting over my baby ego. Yeah, so maybe I'll finally do that. So Brian Brown Walker, Brother Walker, let's see what he has to say about hexagram number 16. Yeah. Okay. When learning English as a second language. I take it you're writing that in English? I find it fascinating. Teaching the immersive language, which was what I'm assuming you do when you're teaching English like that as a second language. Is it an immersive? So you start the first day off speaking in English and everything. And I envision a room. Well, you're in a country, you're in Japan, so everyone else speaks Japanese. But what about in the United States when they teach English as a second language? Would that be the same? When people come to America and then they go to the English speaking class, everyone's from a completely different country. No one speaks the same language there, but the teacher, hopefully by the end, everyone will. I find that really fascinating, but it's the best way to learn. One of my clients yesterday, and of course I'm digressing, one of my clients yesterday, she is an art teacher in a school system, a local school system where there's a majority of the kids speak Spanish. And she was saying to me, oh, I've always wanted to learn Spanish. I have to use whatever different apps to work with some of the students because they don't speak English. And she's like, I'm just not good at learning a language. And I'm a bossy person because I'm a mother of 4 boys, 3 of them which are now grown. So I'm used to just saying, do this or do that. So I had to try, I'm trying to change my evil ways. So I was like, well, I didn't want to tell her, stop saying I can't learn another language. Stop saying I'm not good at I was like, let that, don't even say that, Tamu. Although she's the type of person, because I did say something else later to her, which was really blunt. And she was like, I really appreciate that. But my suggestion to her was, how about start with, next time you watch Netflix or Hulu, you put the Spanish subtitles on. And she was like, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. And I said, and better yet, you can also watch movies and TV shows in Spanish and put the English subtitles on the bottom of the screen at the same time. And I figure, being that she's an artist, she's capable of paying attention to both the spoken word and a little gist of the written word at the same time. Yeah. Right. Sterling says you need to create the speak the language environment. And, my oldest son, when he was at Cornell, he took a year of Hebrew. I remember when he told me, he's like, I think I'm going to take Hebrew as my foreign language. And I'm thinking, but when you went to Hebrew school, you spoke Hebrew the way you spoke English, and you were not good at it. But I didn't say that. I was like, are you sure that's what you want to do? I think I did say, but you weren't too good with Hebrew. He's like, well, I want to try again. I'm in college now. I'm ready to apply myself. And it's funny because he really sucked in Hebrew school. It was, when he would read some of his homework to me, I would kind of like cringe. So his first day of Hebrew at Cornell, the first thing that the Israeli teacher said, okay, this is not the same as Hebrew school. So for most Americans, Hebrew school, Sunday class. Yep, that's my Nala, that's my baby. But believe it or not, by the time he got in college, and when he would read to me in Hebrew, his Hebrew was spot on. He got his chet. He would get that guttural, I don't know what you call that sound in the back of your throat. And he actually made an A in the class. I'm so sorry. I get, when I start talking about my kids, I kind of lose it. But yes, that is my Nala. She is maybe 10 months old. She's a gray tiger, although she appears to be more of a solid gray. And I was thinking soon I'm going to change my setup so that I'm on camera again. I really don't want to be on camera, but I would like to make things a little bit more fluid. So eventually when I do that, I'll show her on camera again. She has been on camera before, but anyway, she's my sweetie pie. All right, so let's get back to what Brother Brian Brown Walker has to say about hexagram number 16, and I apologize for going off course there. The I Ching teaches that there are two kinds of enthusiasm, one that leads to misfortune, and one that leads to success. Thank you, Sterling. I went through kind of a difficult 2 years recently, and it kind of like, so I'm kind of slowly rebuilding things back up, and I have a love-hate affair with being on camera. And especially since I got out of the habit, but I'm gonna do it. If you scroll back down, I think maybe 3 weeks ago, I was on camera. I did do a video, and it took all of everything in me to be on camera. Let me tell you. Okay, so let me get off of me. The I Ching teaches that there are two kinds of enthusiasm, one that leads to misfortune and one that leads to success. This hexagram comes as a sign that you can proceed with confidence now if your enthusiasm is properly founded. All right. Okay. I am being enthusiastic about something that deep down inside I wasn't really enthusiastic about. And this is actually really true. This is really true. when I wasn't doing videos for a while, and I really missed it, but I just didn't have it in me to do it. And it was like, and people would email me, friends would say to me, when are you going to do your videos again? I really enjoy your videos. And I was just like, oh, well, I'll bite my nails, bite my nails. And it's just like, just do it, do it. And I had to get enthusiastic about it. I couldn't wait, for, the video camera to say, come on, let's do it. It's like I had to put one foot in front of the other. I had to be enthusiastic about it. And then the more I did it, and I was like, oh, that's not so bad. I can do it again. And I can do it again. So yes, we got to put our cart before the horse, our enthusiasm before whatever else is, because the more we put energy into being enthusiastic, the more, the ancestors, the helping spirits turn up to help us. Improper enthusiasm is fueled by the desires of the ego. People often desire recognition, wealth, power, or freedom from difficulty. Such desires can become so great that we will do anything to achieve them. You know that old saying, sell your soul to the devil. Our energy rises as we wildly pursue our goals, but this unruly and egotistical enthusiasm inevitably leads us into incorrect and imbalanced behavior and into misfortune. Proper enthusiasm, on the other hand, is fueled by a devotion to attaining and expressing inner balance and inner truth. When your aim is not to influence others or to satisfy your ego, but to follow the guidance of the higher power in all that you do, you acquire another kind of energy, a balanced and bottomless eagerness for living in step with what is right and good. In this, there is true power and true grace. And as I was reading that paragraph, as I got to the end, where does it say, when you acquire another kind of energy, when you follow the guidance of the higher power in all that you do, when you pursue what you know is your life path, what you know is what you are supposed to do, you are, you find the energy. She wants to climb on a table. You find the energy, and the bottomless, eagerness for living. You get the balance, and you get that eagerness for doing it, just like right now. As a small child, I always wanted to be a teacher. But as I got older, I realized, I'm not going to be a teacher in that uniform, conformed sort of sense with the Department of Education and going through all of that. Not that type of teacher. But I always wanted to share information and share knowledge. When I was 10 years old, I developed a really bad stutter. But I never received the speech therapy that, I think one of my teachers recommended that I get speech therapy, but it didn't happen. It's neither here nor there. It didn't happen. But the stutter, I was always that kid who wanted to raise her hand in class. I loved to speak in public. And it wasn't because I enjoyed being the center of attention. No, because I actually don't. I'm more of an introvert. But I enjoyed using my voice. I enjoyed speaking. I enjoyed sharing with people. And I remember it was that one day I raised my hand in class to read something, and I could not read it. Every word was a stutter. And that ended up kind of making me kind of withdraw in school. I no longer wanted to participate in things. I really wanted to, but I just felt like I couldn't. As a little kid, I think I wanted to be an actress, not on television. I wanted to do like community theater and Broadway. I guess I was probably inspired by my late aunt, who was a Broadway dancer. She was in 42nd Street, Chicago. She was in the movie Cotton Club. But anyway, when I was in high school, there was a there was a dramatic interpretation contest, and I joined the contest, and I practiced. I read Edgar Allan Poe. I think it was The Bells. No, I read Raven. Did I read The Raven? No, I didn't read The Raven. I read the Bells. Forget the bells, 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 the wedding bells, the clinging of the funeral bells. I read that one. And I practiced and practiced, and I tied first place with someone, and we had to do another poem, which I actually absolutely hated, so I didn't win. But anyway, you know, a lot when I let people know that I have a stutter, it's like, oh, I never heard you stutter. Oh, you must have gotten over. It's like, no, you never really get over a stutter, at least most people. But I tend to kind of maneuver my way around it. And even to this day, I still stutter, but I no longer allow it to hold me back. But it will come out when I haven't had enough sleep or if I'm really emotionally taxed and stressed. So even with that stutter, I became a Reiki teacher, became a meditation teacher. I even volunteered to teach with my Buddhist ministerial organization. And in all the years that I was teaching meditation, I remember after about 4 years in, one day I started stuttering. But I was like, you know what? Just don't let it bother you. Just keep going, Tamara. Just keep going. And I did. So it's important to motivate yourself, to cultivate your inner enthusiasm. If not you, then who? And once you do it, I just think it's really true. Life will continue to guide you and to support you. It doesn't mean you're not going to have obstacles. It's not going to mean that you're not going to trip over your own tongue and stutter and embarrass yourself. You will do it, but you got to get up and keep going. Because as long as, my whole point for this whole thing was when you are following your life's purpose, that is when your life is in balance. So when I'm doing what I know deep down inside that what my calling is on earth, you will achieve that balance, and that eagerness for living will really step in. So don't let me get started. Yeah, cats always want to be in the center, on the table, on the keyboard. Yeah, and where she is right now is every time I'm doing a live stream, when I'm at home, she is on my lap. So she is like right at my center seed, my center of creation. Proper enthusiasm, on the other hand, is fueled by the devotion. Proper enthusiasm, on the other hand, is fueled by devotion to attaining and expressing inner balance and inner truth. Yes. When your aim is not to influence others or to satisfy your ego, but to follow the guidance of the higher power in all that you do, you acquire another kind of energy, a balanced and bottomless eagerness for living in step with what is right and good. In this, there is true power and true grace. This hexagram reminds you that striving out of your ego now will only push you further away from your goals. Seek instead to follow proper principles. Keep to what is innocent. I love that word. What is innocent? That's a really deep word. Correct and kind. And the creative will come to your aid. The path of truth is always the path of least resistance. I need to look up Brian Brown Walker, because I just find the translation to just be so beautiful and so the right words to touch the soul. I don't feel that way about the Leggett. Is it Leggett? And what are those two translations of the I Ching? I think it's the Legge, Legge, and there's another one that's really the Wilhelm. Yeah, I just think they're too dry, and they're not, to me, I don't find any inspiration in them, but this one I do, really do. So if you were to just get one translation of the I Ching, just for personal devotional use, I would recommend this one by Brian Brown Walker. Okay, so let's check in with our animal spirits. I could say our animal spirit for today is the lovely gray Nala. She encourages you to be in your feminine, to be receptive, to just relax and receive. To just relax and receive. And I love how she, either one moment she's like jumping at my hands and trying to play tag with me, and then the next moment she wants to lay on me and love me. So let's see what we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the 8th. Oh, Lord of mercy. Okay. This definitely isn't my favorite, but there's Buddha everywhere. Everything can teach us. So what does Tarantula, I'm not a big fan of this one, but this is our helper for today. What does Tarantula have to teach us? I don't like spiders, but that's okay. It's not about me. All right. I don't think this is in, I just realized it is not in alphabetical order. I am kind of a chaotic, messy person, but there's some things I need order with, and alphabetized and sequential order is one of them. So we're looking at the wild, unknown animal spirit and tarantula. Tarantula. Okay. One second. Okay, so we're looking at the elements of fire. At a crossroad, claiming life's purpose. What were we just talking about? About proper enthusiasm, and when you are doing your life's purpose, when you know that you're doing what your soul was put here to do, how balance, your life can really starts to become imbalanced, and eagerness for living is there because you're doing your soul's desire. All right, at a crossroad, claiming life's purpose. The tarantula represents a moment when a great decision must be made. It involves prioritizing your life's deeper purpose or dharma. A habit or a routine from the past is sidetracking you from your dream. Yet a voice inside keeps begging you to refocus your attention. Yes, 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 that is exactly that is exactly what I have experienced. Yep. Sorry, I needed to take a little sip. Okay. Yet a voice inside keeps begging you to refocus your attention. In order to find true happiness, you must choose Dharma. Until you do, satisfaction will be fleeting. The tarantula hovers, patient and calm, like an old friend that knows your inner soul. It already knows you'll choose wisely. When in balance follows intuition. When out of balance, hesitates, over intellectualizes. To bring into balance, the suggestion is for daily journaling. So there you go. So our tarantula, bring, those 6 legs. Think of those 6 legs as 6 legs of enthusiasm. I'm really trying to be open-minded here. You have no idea the amount of willies I'm getting, the heebie-jeebies and willies I'm getting as I'm looking at this tarantula. But yeah, that tarantula energy sums up what our hexagram number 16, the energy of life. Find your life's purpose when you're following your higher purpose. You got that tarantula power, baby. Okay, can't argue with the ancestors. All right, so I think right about here, I'm going to go ahead and end the live stream. I need to get out there and get a good walk in and get ready for the rest of my day. What do I have? I got dishes to wash. I have a living room to clean. Working on my 200-hour meditation teacher training course, so I need to do some stuff on that, as well as my my yoga teacher training course. And I think I have about 3 or 4 clients today and laundry to do. Yay me. And what does that say? 8 spiders, 6 insects. What are you talking about? I don't want to see 8 spiders and 6 insects. The only insect I like is the lightning bug. Ladybugs, they're scary and a nuisance. I like lightning bugs. I like bees, even though when I was a little girl, I got stung by about 6 bees. Surprisingly enough, you would think that that would make me afraid of bees. I got stung when I was 7 or 8 years old, but it didn't make me afraid of bees. I got bit on the buttocks on my, I think it was my left buttock cheek, my left cheek, by a dog, a big old German Shepherd dog that my grandfather and dad watched. That dog chased me to the very top of the apartment building. And then I was in the corner and I just hid in the corner and the dog came up and he didn't bite me, but kind of nipped me on the butt cheek. But I didn't become afraid of dogs. But I'm afraid of heights and spiders. Oh, 8 legs. Oh, wait a minute. This spider has 7 legs. Is he missing a leg? Wait a minute, I can't count. Oh, it does have 8 legs. I didn't see the 8 legs. I don't know why I saw that as 6 legs. You're right. And 8 is my favorite. 8 is my favorite number. 8 is my life path number. I always love 8. Always followed me my entire life, like my young adult, from a child, teenager into college. But I didn't learn that 8 is actually my life path number until I was in my 30s. So very interesting. So are you trying to say, Sterling, that maybe I should make friends with the spider kingdom? Maybe. Sterling, stop. You're trying to get me to reevaluate my irrational fear of, I gotta think about that. Why do I have such a fear of spiders? And was it that fear of spiders that made me see only 6 legs and rather than 8 legs? And even when you said 8, when I looked at the spider again, I was like, oh. And then I was like, but wait a minute, this spider only has 7 legs. And then I'm looking again, and it's like, no, wait a minute. It doesn't have, it has 8 legs. What's wrong with you? It's interesting how our brain, our mind, I don't know, is it our consciousness or is it our physicality that's protecting us, that protects our consciousness? Interesting. You've given me some food to think about. You were there too? Oh my gosh. I remember when I was 19, and then I'll let you guys go. I'm rambling. If you want to go ahead. But when I was 18, my favorite job was I was a camp counselor at the Northwest Georgia Girl Scout camp in Georgia. Of course, I just said that. And it was like 8 weeks in the summer. And we had girls there for either 1 week stints or 2 week stints. And we had these platform tents with the heavy canvas, I guess like the military grade tents. And these things were full of spiders. And I remember the girls, one time the girls, you know, they're like between the ages of 9 to 11. And they called us by nicknames. Can you guess what my nickname was? Just guess. Okay. My nickname was Moo. Have a good night. Have a good night. So they would come to my tent, tell Moo. No, they would say, Moo, Moo, there's a spider in my tent. And I'm like, I had to gather up all the courage in me because I knew I was the only adult there. And I had to be there for these girls. So I would go in there. No, actually, I gave them the broom. And I said, go get it yourself. Anyway, let me go now that I've completely humiliated myself. You guys have a great day. Thank you for joining me. And we're going to do some meditation on the spider and all the glories of the weaving of the web and the 8 legs and the infinity. And thank you for Sterling and Lapo Myers. Thank you for your perseverance, and Sterling. But I do have to go. It's been almost 45 minutes now, but I hope that you got some inspiration out of this reading. I did. And I'm going to work on reevaluating my fear, I know, very irrational fear of spiders. I did get bit by a spider once, but that really had nothing to do with my fear, didn't reinforce. How is it I could get bitten by something? There was immediate physical danger, but that didn't enhance my fear of spiders. But when I got stung by the bees, 6 bees, got bit by the dog. I don't have a fear of dogs. I have fear of dog owners. I don't know how they raise their dogs, but yeah. Anyway, thank you, Lapo, for being here. I hope I'm pronouncing your name properly. That's very lovely, Lapo. Nala says bye-bye. All right. Let me get up so I can turn off the camera. I wish you guys peace and great bliss. Let me turn this off, hopefully, without messing it up. Meditate on that spider energy. And remember, hexagram number 16. Until